Megan, what are you looking at?
Stop,
is that Shrek?
Stop.
So why is this one $25 and this one's $45? I don't understand what the big difference is here. They all work with the Switch. Wired controller. Enhanced wireless controller.
Advanced game buttons. That's why.
It has advanced game buttons. This just looks like an Xbox. This is exactly what we need. Alright. I think we have to get the Donkey Kong one, I think. If we're gonna buy one, we're definitely getting the Donkey Kong one. So do you want to get it? That's literally what we have to get now. Alright, here we go. Nintendo Switch is here. Put this guy down. I just went to Walmart, as you just saw. And here we go. We got this. For the Nintendo Switch, it is a wired controller. A wired controller for the Nintendo. Trying to find out how this works today. Of course, we had to get Donkey Kong flavor because Donkey Kong's the best. Let's be honest. Yeah, I guess it's like licensed by Nintendo. It has to be. It's made by Power A, so it's not Nintendo made, but it's got like Nintendo Switch written all over it. So it's definitely like a Nintendo made or a Nintendo licensed thing. God, I'm trying to make this review not boring. All right, I'm really trying today. So. Show me some love, leave me a like if this thing is interessante. That must be good enough. There we go. Here's our big wire. This thing is pretty long. I am enjoying this long wire so far. This is the cheapest Nintendo Switch controller that you can buy, or that money can buy, essentially. It comes in like this extremely odd packaging. This is really weird. And here it is. Oh my god, are you guys ready for the reveal? Reveal! Oh my god. This is such a weird controller. Alright, so we got Donkey Kong's big old head over here. I assume that these guys, Power A, are using Donkey Kong's likeness legally. They have to be. We have this really cheap feeling stick down here. And these alright feeling joysticks. This thing is super light. It feels like a cheap Xbox One or Xbox 360 controller. It doesn't feel as nice as one. But it is only $25, so it's about the quality that we're expecting right now. So you might be thinking, now how does a wired controller work with a wireless device like the Nintendo Switch? Well, I guess we're going to find out today. So Nintendo Switch, oh, it has power, thank God. Here we are in the Nintendo Switch today. Now, if you're wondering, in my last Nintendo Switch video, I was talking about maybe buying Mario Bros, and I ended up buying it. And I guess I've played it a decent amount. It was a good buy. Alright, so let's figure this out, because I don't know what's going on right now. So we've got this interesting hole on the back with the cable goes in and then it goes to a USB. So, I've just realized how this works. You can't use it like this. You have to use it while it's plugged in. Hey, Megan. What's up?
I'm not.
I just need an HDMI cord, okay?
Mic or USB? Oh, HDMI.
In case y'all were wondering, I lost the entire back to my Nintendo Switch dock thing here. The whole back plastic piece. It is really cheap though. Like, that is probably one of the most disappointing things about the Nintendo Switch is how cheap this dock is. Alright, here we are with the $25 Nintendo Switch controller, and as you can see, it works just fine plugged right into the side of the Switch dock. Alright everyone, we're gonna go ahead and play a level. This level looks pretty generic. We're gonna go ahead and play it. Alright, here we go. Off the bat I can tell you that this controller feels pretty cheap. Like, this is not a up to Xbox One level, you know, controllers or PS4 controllers. This feels like a $30 or so Xbox 360 controller maybe, or even an Xbox One controller, like a cheaper one. But I do have to say, the buttons feel good. The stick that I'm actually using to control Luigi feels really good right now. The buttons and everything, although they're quite loud and stuff, and definitely not on the level of, say, Nintendo's official controller. They definitely feel good and like very usable, easy to click. They don't feel like they're gonna stick or break. This feels like a decent controller. A cheap one, but a decent one. Again, cheap does not always mean low quality. Again, I am having no problem playing Mario Brothers today. The rear buttons don't feel like Xbox One controller buttons. They feel more like actual buttons and not sticks. So it's a little bit weird, but it definitely is playable and usable. Like I can twist Luigi at a moment's notice here. Again, do the buttons feel cheap? Yes, they do feel cheap, but they don't feel like they're gonna break, and they're very easy to press. This controller will not affect your gameplay at all. I would be very surprised if your gameplay suffered at all playing with this controller. The only problem I can really see with using this controller is that it does not look and feel like Nintendo quality, I guess, because it really isn't Nintendo quality. And if I had to guess, it feels good in your hand. It feels ergonomic. It feels like an Xbox 360 controller, not a PlayStation controller. So if you're used to playing with PlayStation controllers, I really wouldn't recommend it. But again, it is very cheap, and for $25, this really isn't bad at all, compared to a lot of the wireless controllers that you can find that are much more expensive. Let's do the castle. I'm sure that is very annoying for some of you guys that really like to play the Switch on the go, but I guess if you're playing it on the go, you can always use the controllers that just come with the Nintendo Switch. They are very annoying to use multiplayer with, but if you're at home and you have a bunch of kids, this is probably the perfect controller to buy. Or if you just want to play Smash Bros with some friends at home and don't want to spend $40 plus on controllers for the Switch, you can of course just buy these $25 ones. Not only do they feel better than the tiny little Nintendo Switch controllers, they're cheaper. And that really is the reason I bought this controller. I bought it not just to review it because I was interested in the cheapest Nintendo Switch controller, but I also just bought it because I want to have an extra controller to play Smash Bros with my friends. And everyone that I know absolutely hates using those little controllers. And I'm sure they would much rather use one of these bigger controllers that's more like an Xbox 360 controller. Now I actually also saw GameCube ones that you can use for the Nintendo Switch, but I thought this one was a little bit better just because it's a little bit more like an Xbox controller, and I'm more used to those Xbox controllers. Alright, we actually made it to Bowser's little buddy over here somehow. I don't know, I was able to beat the castle, but not the normal levels somehow. Alright, you guys ready for this cakewalk here with this controller? By the way, there's obviously no lag or delay on this controller, because it is wired, and that's one of the nice things about having a wired controller. And I'm off the map right now. Look at him trying to throw bombs at me. You ain't got nothing, buddy. Just showing off here. I cannot wait to use this controller with Mario Maker, and I'm sure it's also great with Zelda, which I'll probably play in a little bit. There we go. As you can tell, I was easily able to beat the first castle here with this controller. It's definitely extremely playable and usable. It does look a little corny though. So what are my final thoughts on this controller? Well, I think the design on it, I mean, it's alright, but it's a little bit weird, especially with this weird red chrome stuff over here. The sticks feel very nice. These ones right here feel fantastic. The back buttons feel alright. All the buttons feel alright. These ones maybe feel a little bit cheap. I have to say though, everything works and feels really nice. And for $25, this is a no-brainer really if you want an extra Nintendo Switch controller that of course is only wired. That is probably the worst part about it, is the fact that it is wired. So yeah, there's the review of this controller. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below. Would you buy one? I will link an Amazon link or something down in the description if you actually end up wanting to buy one of these. Thanks for watching everyone. I'll see you guys next time, and goodbye.